Greetings and welcome to the Heroic Platforms series of video tutorials. This tutorial is going to teach you about the different elements that you can add to sections of your page that you may not be aware of just by playing around with the site. So we have a template page here. We have various elements that are already added, the button, the text box. If you click on it, you can see that's outlined in green as a text box. That is a headline. These are all elements in this section of this page. If you go down to this little button here, it's a circle with a cross in it and it's green. When you hover on it, you'll get a Add New Element pop-up, and when you click on it, you'll actually get this box that has a list of different elements that you can now add to this section. We're going to go through a brief overview of what each element is and does, and in further tutorials we'll go over how exactly you can customize these elements to fit your style and your branding and the image you want to present. So we're going to start with the first. It's the headline element, and a headline, as you can probably guess, is meant to call attention to a particular aspect of your website. Usually it's a larger font, it can be a different color to offset the importance, and it's going to appear as so. And you can see sort of from the size, it's the same thing as these other headlines here. So that's what you're going to do with a headline. It's usually going to start a paragraph. You'll have content in there that's going to be a smaller font. Going along with that, we go down the list, we have the text block element. And if you click on that, it's going to give you placeholder text. So this is just kind of nonsense text meant to show you what it would look like if you had your content in there. What I'm going to do is I'm selecting and I'm going to delete all of that placeholder text, which still leaves you with a box where you can type, "This is a text block." And then you can edit that text from there. So you can sort of see if my headline says, "Hi, I'm Jessica," my text block might say, "I'm here to help you out with your XYZ business issues." So that is how those work in a section. They combine, they're usually used together. If you continue on down our list, we now have images. If you click on it, you get, again, a placeholder. You may be seeing a pattern here. The placeholder image shows you where the image you select will go. What you'll be able to do is upload an image from your computer, say, or somewhere on the web, or you can find one from our searchable online media library that we give you free access to. And then you'll put the image there and you can edit it, but the image is a still image, so a photograph or an icon or something of that nature is going to go in there. That's what that element is for. Along with that, we have the video element. Again, placeholder. The video element works a little differently than the image. You can store and find images and icons in the library, but if you would like to have a video play on your site, you're going to have to get the embed code from wherever it's stored, perhaps YouTube or Vimeo or another service. They'll have an embed code. You make your video public so everybody can see it, and then there will be a space for you to paste the embed code in on the platform, and it will show up exactly where you see this placeholder. There will be other settings that we'll cover later where you can adjust what it looks like, how it plays, and other such details. Moving along, we're going to go down to the navigation element. We also have in the libraries for forms, we have a navigation element as well. The navigation is essentially going to tell your user how they get to different sections and pages of your site. For instance, your blog, your About Me, your homepage, it's a navigation link. You will be able to work from here, or you can work from adding it as a section from the libraries, and we'll go over that more in detail later. But that is what a navigation item will do. The next item in our list is kind of cool. It's a divider bar. That's helpful if you have, say, a number of, maybe a text block and an image that goes with it, and you want maybe 2 or 3 of those in the same section or on the same page. You can separate them kind of subtly with this divider line. You can edit it and make it go to different lengths, different colors, different widths. So it can be a kind of a useful tool to give a very professional look to sections of your website. The next element we're going to cover is the button element, which is very important as a call to action. It's one of those things that your visitor to your website is going to see and go, oh, I need this white paper. I need to see this PDF. This video is going to change my life. So you have a button and you tell them, you know, click here, download now, subscribe to my newsletter. Basically, you also have editing options for that. You can change the color and the font and the size, and then what it does when somebody clicks on it. So it can go to a page that you've designed that says, thank you for, you know, clicking on my link. Here's an email that you can send to. Here's your free gift for signing up, things like that. So there's plenty of things you can do with the buttons. Just adding them separately from a form. So if you add one of our custom forms from the library, it's also going to have its own button with it, which you can customize. But if you want to just add a button out of nowhere, this is where you would do it. So the next element we have is a form. You can see this is a very simple form with, as I said, its own button. And we do have a number of different forms to gather different information from your visitors, whichever you want. Sometimes it's just simple as a name and email. Sometimes you want a little more, like a telephone number, depending on the value of what you're offering them in exchange for their information. So that would be a sales funnel, that sort of thing, where you want to get people on a list so that you can email them about these awesome products and services that you offer. So that is a simple form, and you can customize that to your liking. Next up we have, oh, I should mention here, if you put a form in a section using the elements box, you can only have one form in that section. And normally you would not want to clutter a section with more than one form, but you may notice that this box here has changed some. There is no button to add a form anymore because you already have this one here. So that tricked me the first time I did it, so I wanted to pass that along to you in case it comes up at some point. Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. So the next one is one of my favorites. It's the map element, and basically it makes things look very professional. I would probably put this in the footer or at the bottom of the page next to your address, your phone number, ways to contact you. It's Google Maps basically. So you enter an address and it puts a pointer on it, and people can see where your office is or anywhere else you want to show them on the map. So I love that feature. It's really simple to use, and it looks really good. You can adjust, you know, the width and the size of the actual map image itself, and of course the address. Moving on, we have the counter or a countdown widget. Widgets are little things like this that do really neat things. This is great. You can change how it looks. So you can change the font and the color, and you can change all sorts of things about, you know, how many hours is it counting down and what happens once it reaches the end of the countdown. So say you have a special offer and it's a limited time offer to create excitement about it. When that timer runs down, do you put up another last chance, 4 hours, I'm giving you an additional 4 hours to get a hold of this great thing that you know you need, and generate more interest that way? Or do you send them to another page and say, okay, you know, I have a better offer for you, or here's a discount of 20% if you buy now? You get the picture. You are all very savvy business people, and if you're not, you're going to learn a whole lot here. So just sit back and breathe, and remember to use the live chat because we've got your back there. And we can definitely help you through the rough spots. So let's keep going. We have the social buttons. You see these on all the websites, everybody's website. These are the major ones, obviously, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, etc. You can add, I think we have about 10 different social sites, and you can put in your link, so where you want them to go when they click on that. which can be really helpful so you can draw in all of your advertising, all of your media sources to let people know how to find you and give them different information. But as you can see, it adds a very professional touch to the bottom of whatever page you have. You can also put it maybe in your header, just under your logo, or somewhere, you know, that makes a lot of sense for the business that you are looking to present to people. Moving along, we've got a box to add JavaScript or HTML. So if there's a widget that you like that you can find the code for, it's going to be either JavaScript, applet, or an HTML bit. You can go and grab that code, it's an embed code, and you can put it in this box here. Obviously, I'm not going to put a code in there because I don't have one, but that will, as long as your widget is compatible, it's not something specifically meant for, say, WordPress, or specifically meant to work with some other platform specifically, and it won't work here. It won't hurt anything, it just won't work the way it's supposed to. So that is definitely an option for adding things, calendar widgets, other kinds of apps that you might like to have for folks. And the last one, we're almost done. Thank you for bearing with me. We have the comments box. So it doesn't show up until you click in it, but if you have a blog post, or if you're creating something where you want to get people's feedback and input, you can add the Facebook comments plugin. So that pulls in my wonderful picture from my Facebook account. You can set the specifics again in the navigation panel when we cover each element in its own beautiful complexity. And that is the end of the elements that you can add within a section. I hope this has been helpful. Please feel free to ask Kimberly or Jessica or any other support agent in the chat. You'll see the button in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen when you're logged in. We try to answer every chat as quickly as possible, round the clock, and we love speaking with folks that we can help out, and we look forward to seeing you there. Stay tuned for the next tutorial.